Greetings, folks. Welcome to Investor Web, your #1 resource for financial literacy and investment insights. Here, we aim to empower you with knowledge about money matters, investment strategies, and the current economic climate. In this fast-paced world, being financially savvy has never been more crucial. It's time to take control of your financial future. Today, we delve into a somewhat controversial topic: 10 signs you are the new poor. An eye-opener for many. Let's get started. Sign number 1, you're living paycheck to paycheck. This is a precarious yet all too common scenario where your income barely meets your expenditure, leaving nothing for savings or investments. It's like walking a tightrope, one unexpected expense away from financial chaos. While it's often seen as the norm, especially among young adults starting out their careers, it's a clear sign of financial instability. It means that your income is not sufficient to cover your lifestyle, or that your spending habits need to be reined in. Living paycheck to paycheck can also create a vicious cycle of debt, as you may have to borrow money or use credit to cover unforeseen costs. This can lead to increased financial stress and potential poverty, so if you find yourself always eagerly awaiting the next paycheck, barely scraping through the month, it's a red flag. It's a sign you need to reassess your financial habits. Sign number 2, there's no emergency fund in your bank account. You see, an emergency fund is not just a safety net, it's an essential buffer between you and life's unexpected twists and turns. Imagine your car breaking down, a sudden medical expense, or a sudden job loss. Without an emergency fund, these everyday risks can rapidly escalate into a full-blown financial crisis. An emergency fund is your financial first aid kit. It offers you the peace of mind knowing that you can face the unexpected without plunging into debt. It's recommended to have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses tucked away. This might sound like a lot, but even starting with a small amount can make a big difference. If you find yourself without this financial cushion, you're not just living on the edge, you're dancing with financial instability. Remember, an empty emergency fund equals a financial vulnerability. Sign number 3, you heavily rely on your credit card. This little piece of plastic can be a lifesaver in emergencies, but when it becomes your go-to for daily expenses, you're skating on thin ice. Credit cards, with their high interest rates and easy access to funds, can quickly lead you into a debt trap, a quicksand that's hard to escape from. Imagine this. Every time you swipe that card, you're essentially borrowing money that you'll need to pay back, and it's not just the amount you borrowed, but an extra chunk called interest. Now, if you're only making the minimum payments each month, your debt is growing, not shrinking. This heavy dependence on credit cards can lead to potential financial ruin. The cycle of borrowing and owing can be debilitating and stressful, affecting not just your financial health, but your mental well-being too. Credit cards are a tool, not a crutch. If you're leaning on them too much, it's time to take a step back. Sign number 4, you have no savings or investments. Picture this scenario. You're sailing on a ship. Your savings and investments are the lifeboats on that ship. Now imagine that ship hits an iceberg and starts to sink. You'd want to have those lifeboats, wouldn't you? It's the same with your financial journey. Savings and investments are your lifeboats. They're your buffer against unforeseen circumstances, your protection against the high seas of financial instability. Without them, you're sailing on risky waters. Savings are your immediate rescue, providing you with a safety net when life throws unexpected expenses your way. Investments, on the other hand, are your long-term lifeboats. They grow your wealth, ensuring you're not just surviving, but thriving financially. To not have these is like setting sail with no lifeboats. It's a gamble, and the stakes are your financial stability. A future without savings or investments is a shaky one. Sign number 5, you're unaware of basic financial terms. Do terms such as interest rate, inflation, dividends, or mutual funds sound like a foreign language to you? Well, they shouldn't. Financial literacy is not just a fancy term, it's a necessity in today's world. Understanding financial jargon is akin to having a roadmap for your financial journey. It helps you make informed decisions, plan better, and safeguard your hard-earned money. When you're oblivious to these terms, you're essentially navigating through a maze blindfolded. You could end up making poor financial decisions, falling prey to scams, or worse, accumulating debt. Think of it this way. You wouldn't drive a car without knowing the rules of the road, would you? Similarly, you shouldn't manage your money without understanding the language of finance. So, educate yourself, ask questions, and never stop learning. Remember, financial ignorance isn't bliss, it's a potential disaster. Sign number 6, you have no financial goals. Imagine setting off on a journey with no destination in mind. You'd probably wander aimlessly, right? That's exactly what happens when you don't have financial goals. These are the roadmap to your financial future, guiding you towards financial stability and success. Without such targets, you might find yourself spending money without purpose, falling into a cycle of consumption without saving or investing. This can lead to financial instability, and before you know it, you're living paycheck to paycheck with nothing set aside for a rainy day. Creating financial goals isn't about restricting your spending, it's about empowering yourself to make informed decisions about your money. It helps you prioritize your spending, save for the future, and work towards financial freedom. Remember, your financial goals can be as simple or as ambitious as you want them to be. The key is to have them. Without financial goals, you're sailing without a compass. Sign number 7, you don't have health insurance. Let's cut straight to the chase. Health insurance isn't a frivolous expense you can skip to save a few pennies. It's a shield, a safety net, a buffer between you and financial ruin. Why, you ask? Well, imagine a sudden health emergency or a long-term illness. The costs of medical treatments, surgeries, hospital stays, medications, they can quickly skyrocket into the stratosphere. Without health insurance, you're left to foot these colossal bills yourself. And let's face it, most of us don't have a treasure chest buried in the backyard to cover such astronomical expenses. The result? You'll either plunge into deep debt or be forced to compromise on your healthcare. Remember, health is wealth, and health insurance is the guardian of that wealth. It's the key that unlocks the door to timely, quality healthcare without sending you spiraling into financial distress. Health insurance isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Sign number 8, your debt-to-income ratio is sky high. Now, what exactly is this ratio? It's a measure that compares your total monthly debt payments to your monthly gross income. It's a tool used by lenders to assess your ability to manage the payments you make each month and repay the money you have borrowed. Imagine you're a juggler, and each ball you're juggling represents a different debt. The more balls you have in the air, the harder it is to keep them all aloft. This is what a high debt-to-income ratio signifies. It's a sign that you're struggling to balance your income against your debts. A high ratio can make it difficult to secure loans and could lead to higher interest rates. It's a clear signal that you're living beyond your means, and it's a precarious position to be in. A high debt-to-income ratio is a ticking financial time bomb. Sign number 9, you have no retirement plan. Imagine sailing a ship with no destination in sight. That's exactly how it feels to approach your twilight years without a retirement plan. Now, why is this so essential? It's simple. A retirement plan acts as your financial roadmap for the future, guiding you towards a secure and comfortable old age. Without this roadmap, you risk stumbling into financial insecurity when your working years are over. You'd be surprised at how many folks neglect this crucial aspect of financial planning, leaving them unprepared and vulnerable in their golden years. Whether it's investing in a pension fund, contributing to a 401k, or setting up an individual retirement account, there are numerous ways to plan for your future. Remember, the earlier you start, the more comfortable your retirement will be. A life without a retirement plan is a future full of uncertainty. And finally, sign number 10, money worries keep you up at night. If your mind races with financial concerns as you try to sleep, it's a glaring sign of financial instability. This constant worry, this gnawing anxiety about where the next rent or mortgage payment is coming from, is a clear indicator of looming poverty. It's not just about the lack of money, but the emotional toll it takes. If money worries are keeping you up at night, it's time for a financial wake-up call. So there you have it, 10 signs you might be the new poor. We've walked you through the labyrinth of financial pitfalls, from the perpetual cycle of living paycheck to paycheck to the sleepless nights caused by ceaseless money worries. We've underscored the dangers of having no emergency fund, heavy reliance on credit cards, and a high debt-to-income ratio. We've highlighted the importance of savings, investments, financial literacy, and setting clear financial goals. Remember, the absence of health insurance or a retirement plan is not a sign of freedom, but a potential ticket to financial ruin. Financial literacy and prudent money management aren't just buzzwords, they're crucial skills for navigating the stormy seas of personal finance. It's time to take control, to empower yourself with knowledge and a solid financial strategy. Remember, knowledge is power. Equip yourself with financial knowledge and take control of your money. Don't forget to subscribe to InvestorWeb for more insightful financial content. Until next time, stay financially savvy.